Mavis,
Yes?
I've got a fairly important question to ask you.
Oh?
Will you marry me?
There's double trouble for Derek and Mavis next, as both say I don't on their big day.
Sorry, but there isn't going to be a wedding. I can't marry Derek.
She was quite a tough little character. You know, a lot of girls would have gone through with it, and she stuck to her guns and said, no, this isn't right.
I can't marry him. I know I'm behaving badly, and I'm hurting him. Everybody'll say what a terrible person that I am.
Again, dithering and weepy, but she was tough enough to do it.
If your mind's made up and you're sure you've made the right decision. Just wish you'd made it a bit sooner, that's all.
That scene is reflective of the two of them.
Somebody's got to go to that church and tell Derek that you're not coming.
Where's Derek?
Derek won't be here. He's not coming, I'm afraid.
No, it's Mavis that's not coming.
He's very upset and that. But he can't marry her.
Do you mean he's dumping her? He's leaving her flat?
He's very sorry.
Sorry? I'll smash his teeth in.
That was the essence of the friendship. They stuck up for each other and great friends all the way through.
Next, a story that shocked the nation as Gail's husband Brian lost his life in front of 24 million viewers.
I was very sad, you know, that they were killing Brian off, because my decision to go, and we decided to make the most of it.
Brian was to meet his fate outside a nightclub after his date was accosted by 3 thugs, one of whom was Holby City star Ian Aspinall.
Don't waste your time with that Wally, darling.
Oh, belter.
Just started acting, really. I got a call from Granada saying, would I like this job? And so I thought, well, I have nothing to lose. It sounds fantastic. Yeah, going killing a main character off in Coronation Street. Why not?
Get off me!
What's going on? Go on, sunshine. The birds changed their minds. I'm your sweetheart.
They normally have a stunt coordinator, but they didn't have one. So the director, Patrick Lau, he let me arrange the fight scene. So I remember telling the guys to, you know, either try and punch me here, or I'll grab you there and I kick you there, and eventually you got the knife and you stick it in. It was a very violent end, and I know a lot of people, you know, were pretty upset about how violent it was.
You'd better get an ambulance and quick.
Loads of women come up to me with their kids now who are grown up, saying, "Oh, I cried when Brian got killed on the show." So, you know, it was pretty emotional for me, and also for the fans of the show as well.
From knife crime to a fatal gunshot at 41, 1978 saw Emily Bishop's husband Ernie meet his maker at the hands of armed robbers, all thanks to Mike Baldwin's elbow.
Give us the money, mate, and you won't get hurt.
Give us the money. If I hadn't have opened the door and jogged the robber's arm, perhaps the gun wouldn't have gone off and they'd have ran away. But I did feel guilty for Mike.
How's it going?
They're taking the...
You bloody idiots! Come on, let's get out of here! Tommorow!
The people remember that awful shot of me being wheeled out of the ambulance afterwards, as me looking pale and wan. And then a few days later, I died in hospital.
I'm very sorry. In the end, there was nothing we could do.
They had a burial service, of course, for poor old Ernest.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
And I remember going, as myself, to the funeral and watching myself being buried. You know, it was very peculiar.
Next, how Bet Gilroy called time on the Rovers when wealthy step-granddaughter Vicky refused her the money to buy the pub, but she wasn't going to leave without causing a scene, and what a scene it was.
The way Bet left Coronation Street, for me, was perfect.
There's not one of you lot I haven't wanted to get rid of in my time. Come on, get your drinks. Go and lose yourselves. Get out, this pub's shut.
You feel better for that? I feel nought, except it's over and done with. And that's that.
I was very sad she went, but, you know, that's life.
Rovers return, Coronation Street. Thank you very much. As quick as you can.
We'd actually finished the last studio scene, and then by the Friday, we'd shot everything. She was out of contract, she was gone, and I think it was the PA said, we're missing a shot. When she leaves, the keys on the bar and goes, you know, and that was her saying, I'm done being a landlady. Now, Julie was a hand model. We often used to joke about our hands being quite alike. So, and we always had these really long nails, both she and I. So they said, you're it, you're the hands. So I kind of almost got the last shot, which was really cool. And I got a round of applause.
Single women, they always go where there's sunshine.
Did they find it?
Ah, well, can't answer that one, love.
Oh, they do, you know. They all find it sooner or later. She was going off into the sunshine. And I think anything other than that, I couldn't have coped with. And I know damn well the viewers couldn't. They wanted her to go to Tenerife.
She was the best barmaid we've ever had and ever will have.
Disaster strikes again at 39 with Corrie's original big stunt. Long before the tram crash of 2010, this was the first train to come careering off the viaduct.
Hey, Jenny! Jenny, come on! Everyone come out here! There's a train through the viaduct! Come on!
Ina Sharples was found under the rubble. In those days, the exterior of the street was built in studio. It was an amazing feat.
The train was left dangling overnight from this huge bridge. Dennis Parkin, who originally designed the show, came to me and he said, that was a close one. So I said, why? He said, it was hanging by a thread right over Violet Carson.
I bet you're feeling better now, aren't you?
Yes.
Coming up, Terry Duckworth and his darkest deed yet.
The more people hated me, the more I realised I'd done a good job.
And Don takes Alma on a taxi ride from hell.
No! It's the first time I have ever had a round of applause on a film set.
We're celebrating Coronation Street's 50th anniversary with a countdown of its 50 greatest moments as voted for by you.
I want you to marry me, please. I love you, Linda.
And there's heartache for Mike Baldwin at 38 when long-lost son Mark turns up and ruins his dad's wedding.
I just thought Coronation Street would be great for me to kind of get in, cause some trouble, make some waves, and then kind of get out.
You should be with me, not him, you know you should.
Guilt-ridden Mark was left unable to fulfil his best man duties.
I'm gonna marry Mike.
Can I have these back then?
That didn't stop the ceremony, but the story almost ruined Johnny Briggs's holiday.
The director said, oh, Johnny, we're in a bit of a fix here. I said, why? He said, I've got a 4-minute scene, and we've got 5 minutes to do it in. He said, so if we don't get it done, we're in the mess. What are we going to do? I said, well, I know that I'm going to catch that plane, so we're going to do it in one take. He said, oh, that would be a miracle if that could happen. I said, well, let's try it, shall we? We got in this horse and cart, we started to go. It took 4.5 minutes. When he said cut, 30 seconds left. And we got it in one take.
Luckily for Johnny, the scenes of the wedding bombshell had already been filmed.
Surprise! Well, what the flaming hell are you doing here? I'm afraid I've drunk all your champagne.
Drunk scenes are always a little weird. I'm always, a little wary of playing them because, the tendency is to overplay them slightly.
Can I kiss the bride?
Get off me.
What is wrong with you? I don't know, I'm drunk.
A little inside trick is probably to have a little sip of something just to give you a taste in your mouth that kind of probably releases some kind of endorphins that reminds you of, what it's like to feel drunk. Not to be drunk, obviously.
You made a laughing stock of me out there. My friends, my work colleagues. You made me look a damn fool. What you don't realise is that you are a damn fool.
They're quite good fun to kind of let loose a little bit and, just to allow your emotions, because I was meant to be very upset.
The biggest joke is that me and your lovely wife here have been having an affair behind your back.
He's drunk.
Get out. And if all your friends and colleagues found out about that, that's when they'd be laughing at you. I said, get out. What is it? Do you not believe me? Then ask her.
We were having sex in your precious little factory an hour before you asked her to marry you. So you see, Dad, you are the fool.
In 2005, Coronation Street welcomed Sir Ian McKellen into the cast, a coup for the soap and Norris's book club.
Mel Woodwright.
When people come in, and particularly when they're well-known and very good, and when we knew Ian McKellen was coming in, that was wonderful.
So it's an honour.
To have Ian McKellen come in was lovely.
He put Ken down beautifully.
Oh, Ken, I'd love to borrow your book. I've been suffering from a touch of insomnia of late. It sounds like just the tonic.
Just to have someone like that in is very exciting, very stimulating, and very wonderful.
What I suggest is we go back to this place where I'm staying. Done.
Every time he did a scene, you could tell he'd actually digested it, he'd worked on it, he'd put his own little bits in.
You hear the canary.
But Mel Hutchwright soon outstayed his welcome, and it was the nitwit in knitwear who exposed him as a fraud.
Stay where you are, Lionel.
Lionel, you're right, he has got
Lionel
to do
Hipkiss, to give him his full name.
Get out! Yes.
Sling your book.
Lionel had been rumbled, but Sir Ian had achieved his lifelong dream to appear in Weatherfield.
He could choose wherever he wanted to go. So although it was wonderful to have him, I thought, well, I must be in a pretty marvellous programme.